Huge waterfall there. No eddies to get out. If we miss that eddy, we're gonna go over the falls. And then we bushwhack around this. Freaking chilly day. 20 meters. Like, why would I bother? I'm not paddling into that though. Oh. Borderline going into shock.
Good morning. Ted and I have slept in. So much work to do that I just avoided it and slept until 8, which we had an alarm set for 6. So yeah. Naturally superior adventures yesterday. We maybe slept for 5 hours, which is pretty good, but we needed to, you know, catch up. So there you go. Anyway, time to pack up camp. Yesterday was a lot of work. We managed to kind of cheat a bit and get in at a different spot, which enabled us to access the East Puckasaw River a little further down than we thought. So that kind of put a few more kilometers behind us. But today we have our work cut out for us. We have a big waterfall and then a rapid that might be a total portage. There's 2 contour lines that cross the river in probably about a 400-meter stretch, and it's just all marked as bars. So a contour line is a line on a topographic map that represents a drop in elevation or gain in elevation. And when they cross the river, that usually means that there's a drop in that area of the river, an elevation drop, which means rapid. So we don't know what it's going to be like until we get there, because we haven't talked to anyone that's paddled this river, and we don't have any specific notes. We don't know what side the portage is going to be on or anything. So really it's going to be trying to figure it out when we get there, which actually is kind of feel like you're really doing it sometimes, but it definitely can add time.
Morning. It is a freaking chilly day. I'd say it's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 degrees, 4. And it's raining. Yeah, maybe 4 degrees Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit, like 40 something. And it's raining, a really cold rain, not hard, but a really cold rain nevertheless. And so we just crawled out of bed and slowly putting on our wet stuff and starting to take down camp.
says, because
Maybe that gave her some beat.
yeah, but yeah, it's just like a lot of women that's what happens.
Don't fill that one too much bigger.
Creamer, there's actually absolutely no cream in it or any dairy product whatsoever. But I've come to actually like the taste of it, and it also makes your coffee ripping hot. But it's probably not the healthy choice. Yeah, so what I'm saying is we're right in between those. So we're gonna have to portage this fall, then we're gonna have to portage this.
2 contours crossing there.
And then this we can probably run.
Right. It's marked here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that'll just be swift current, but I'm like a class 2. Who knows, it might be a class 3.
Yeah, now that like I'm used to it a bit, it's just...
This axe is all kind of rotted there. I'm worried the handle might break. I have to make a new handle. Just sort of happened to do it yesterday.
Had my fishing rod.
Where is it?
Here, I'll wait for you here. You want to grab it for me?
Sure. Is that back at camp?
No, I think it's right there.
There is a rapid going around a blind corner, and right after that blind corner is the next falls. So that is an area that would be extremely dangerous to just go down, because the current would be too swift and you wouldn't be able to get to shore, and you might whip over the waterfall. That takes a little while to get going in the mornings.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's right there. Oh, it feels so nice just being on the water. I hate having to get out and portage. Probably shouldn't have clipped everything so well. on top of the spray deck here, but I guess that didn't really take any time, but just because we're having to portage right away. Great.
I'm gonna see if I can see it from over here. We probably should get out as much as I don't want to, eh?
Looks like
total blind corner, no visible eddy. It's only a swift though.
the thing is that the shorelines aren't like, they're just boulder ridden.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So like you can't really like pull over there without grabbing alders and deep water.
Maybe we should get out here and then we could get a look at it more easily.
Here's a trail.
Where?
Here.
Animal trails.
Looks like it actually might be a trail.
Yeah?
Yeah. Look.
I can't see. Looks like there's one here too.
What's that on the right?
Looks like an otter den or a beaver den.
Beside that big spruce?
There?
Yeah.
I don't know, nothing. Here, Ted, here's a tributary we can get over at.
Is there space for two boats there though?
What?
Is there room for two boats?
Yeah, look.
This actually looks like an actual trail here though, Jim.
Well, it would cross here then.
Looks like there's a blaze.
Oh, there's a blaze, eh?
Well, it looks that way, yeah.
Well, it would have to cross this then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted, it looks like the trail's right here. Could just be an animal trail though. Well, it looks like there's a trail coming right across here.
Yeah, I doubt it was a trail I saw, but it looked like there was a trail. It was an animal trail maybe, but it looked like trees had been cut out of the way.
This looks like a trail. It's probably an animal trail too. So we're just pulling over to scout this blind corner that's swift leading up to a falls. Hopefully we don't have to portage the whole way. Looks like we can catch that eddy there.
It's so weird, man. I feel like the falls should have been here already.
Yeah, I feel it is weird. Like, are we lost? The GPS says we're here. You know, the falls should be like right there. I don't hear it. Look, what do you say we see that big rock?
Yeah.
What do you say we just go down the eddy out by that big rock?
Yes.
I mean, we're already out of the boat though. You know?
Right.
There's also an eddy here. Look.
Right. Or we could just wade to here and then walk down a bit. I don't know, it would be good to just see around the corner.
Because we're already here, you know?
I don't hear a falls.
No, neither do I.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a carryover.
It's like, sounds like it's getting quieter. Man, I don't know.
Looks like there's an eddy on the right too. Let's just keep going.
All right. So what we're up against here is we have a long, probably, what would you say, 500 meter swift, a fast current, and a blind corner, and then down right over there is a big waterfall. So we have to paddle down here and try to catch one of these eddies, and then go further and scout a bit more, or portage from there, that kind of thing. A little bit nerve-wracking, you know, because if something happens and you blow it, you're kind of in this fast current at the top of a falls, you know, but I think it's going to be okay. And the other thing is that this is a isn't on our topographic maps. So you know, the maps are sometimes, they don't even mark rapids or falls, so you got to be really careful and not just blindly trust the maps, because this is the kind of thing you get. There's supposed to be a falls way up there and it's not there, and in fact it's about 1 kilometer downriver around a corner.
Yeah, that's why you gotta, especially on these routes that are really untraveled, you gotta give yourself extra time and do things like this. It's not stupid, because yeah, basically it's a completely, you know, Government of Canada topographic maps. A lot of them were taken with aerial surveys a long time ago and then drawn from that. So basically you know, there's an entire waterfall that's marked that's not there, and then there's a waterfall downriver in a totally different place that's not marked that is there. I don't know if you can follow that, but yeah, so when you see this swift moving water coming around a blind corner, there could just be a thundering waterfall there that's not marked at all on the map, and that's exactly the situation we're in now. So I mean, we skipped another waterfall, but there's a different one down here we weren't expecting. So I think the play is just to run this and eddy out here. Yeah, or eddy out here. Okay, so now it's walk back to the canoes and run this fast moving swift here. As soon as we're past this fast flowing section, we're gonna have a lot of what I think is gonna be fun runnable rapids and no portaging, but we're gonna have probably 2 really tough portages coming up right away. If you don't see me in the eddy, I've whipped over the falls. So we're doing some eddy hopping here. Oh, I see blazes on that tree. That means it's likely a takeout. Couple more rocks there than I was expecting. I had to swing a little wider, and so now we're gonna go down and scout the rest of the river, see if there's a waterfall or what this is all about. So there's a big waterfall. Let's try to figure out the best thing to do here. Right around the corner, and all there is this eddy. There's kind of a bit of a hole there. I don't know. It's I think we could come down and catch the eddy, but it's really the last one. And it's not a huge distance to it, so it's not like we'd be saving a kilometer of bushwhacking. You could just miss this and then get over and then, you know? It's not like a kilometer of bushwhacking to get here, so. Yeah. The thing is that either way, I still think it would be good to be on the other side. But... yeah, so let's go back to the canoes and then we'll see if we can just front ferry over. You know? Kind of nerve-wracking, but not so bad. We're in a good position. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be that hard to be on the higher ground here. This is like a moose trail here. Right. I just think there might actually be a takeout there. You know, like an actual human trail. Could be. I don't know. What? I don't, dude, I don't, yeah, like, I'm just starting to, listen. I'm just starting to second guess whether I want to cross the river. So look. Like, I don't, like, I'm just going to walk down here. This is what I say the plan is. Listen, we get it over to that eddy and then get into that eddy there. And then take. That's not an eddy. What? That's not this. Yeah, no, that one beyond that huge boulder. Yeah. I'm not paddling into that though. What? I'm not going to paddle into that eddy. How come? Because I just don't want to, you know? Just don't want to
paddle into that. I'm saving like 20 meters. Like, okay, why would I bother?
We're trying to go over the left though, right?
So I can just paddle over and then go down.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to get over to the left. Like, I'd rather wade my boat just like this.
Huh.
You know? Like, this is pretty easy, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I can wade the boat way further than there. And there's a pool after the falls.
Well, you could wade on the other side too, can't you?
It looks deep. I don't know, there's a pool after the falls. So I think I'm just gonna wade my canoe down here. Yeah. You want to paddle over there, but
I'll wade down with you, buddy. And then I can just hop over to the eddy mid current if I want, you know?
Yeah, if you're gonna get the eddy, I think you should get it from here. But look, dude, it's literally like 20 meters. Like, what's the point? You know, like, because I don't think we need to go to the other side. Because the river, we're not portaging the next falls in one shot. Yeah, but we're gonna go all the way down to the end. I think we can just wade like pretty much all the way there. Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't think it is. I just don't really want to, you know?
It's not a good plan?
I don't really want to do that above a falls just to save 20 feet. Like, maybe if it was like this whole stretch, you know, like, I'm sure it's fine. On the right makes more sense than the left down here.
Well, what I'm saying is, you see all this? We get over to this eddy right here, and then we just line it down to that eddy, and then we can still...
That's fine. It's just deep there.
Let's...
Maybe we can just keep wading down the left.
Right, yeah. Sketchy. Wading, eddying out above a death waterfall.
To get in and paddle around the rock. So feeling a little bit discouraged right now because it feels like we've been on the water for 2 hours or more and we've made it almost absolutely nowhere, but you got to be safe because we have no river nose and the topos clearly are, the maps are clearly not accurate. So we ran that Swift and then scouted it out, and sure enough there's a falls there that's not marked or marked in the wrong place. So now we're gonna portage. We came over, Jim eddied out, paddled over, front ferried, eddied on this side of the river. I waded over because I was just like, it's just right above a waterfall, and you know, he's a little bit better at solo paddling. He's better at solo paddling than me, so I just figured, you know, it wasn't worth it to save like 20 meters, but he flawlessly did it, so that's good. And we're still alive, we're being safe, so we'll get through it. And looks like just a heck of a portage. Like, you know, these routes, I don't know if it was ever a main travel route, and it's not, you know, in a park, so it's just not maintained at all. So it's just overgrown. You can't even really carry your canoe through this stuff because there's just so much crap over top. You literally have to drag it. Luckily it's just sticks and moss and stuff, so you won't damage your canoe too much, but it's very slow going, so we got to just get started, and hopefully it's not too bad. There's a trail here. Oh, maybe not. So here's an unmarked waterfall, and there's another one just below. So just really hoping this isn't the theme of the river. Unmarked falls and places where the contours cross, that there's a falls and no rapid mark. We're about to enter a pretty rugged canyon, and there are some contours that cross in there. And the way we're portaging, we're gonna have to be down in that canyon, and if we can't get back up, and it might be sketchy. Hopefully it's not like this. Paddling these uncharted routes, you really don't know what you're gonna get, and sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get unlucky. So far we're kind of a little unlucky here. There's a really big long canyon with a narrow pinch where we have contours crossing, and I don't know if we can walk along the shore there, and we're going to be putting back in, having to go back up the canyon and portage about 1.6 kilometers through this dense bush with no trail. Would be very challenging. It would probably take a full day. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But when you see stuff like this that's not on the map, it makes you think like, oh geez, what about all these other sections contours cross? Are they gonna be like this too? Because there's quite a few, and it looks like, oh, we'll just be paddling all through there, it'll be a swift, but not always the case. I wanna go home.
Yeah, the contour interval, something's weird. There's just some serious inaccuracies on our map. We rounded this bend and found what's probably an 80-foot freaking waterfall. It's just thundering, and I just dropped my bags and I'm kind of scouting out what's the best way to walk because it's tough to tell. Which makes you wonder, are the other contour lines going to be nothing, like, or just swift current, or are they going to be falls? So a lot of unknowns we're dealing with on this river. Water just...
Come back up.
Go this way. That is where the trail goes. Well, sorry, the way we have to get down this canyon.
So we found a little way to come down. It's pretty sketchy, down the edge of a cliff, and there's a lot of rock, like broken rocks covered in moss, and you can go down and break your knee kind of in that, so we got to be really careful. But I thought this was kind of cool. Here's a spot sheltered out of the sun and kind of in a cool sink area, and there's snow here still. Look at that. Should take some and mix up some drinks with it. Hold on, Jim, don't come down yet.
Good shot. At first I looked at him like, should I catch that? I'm like, it's a snowball! And then...
Part of paddling. Yeah, it is fun. It's just like, part of it is like what you think is going to happen isn't. So then you need to adjust like your attitude to what reality is. When you put it down, it might dump the food out. Probably not, but... Whew.
We're basically crossing a canyon so we can portage into a canyon around a fall. That was dangerous. I just had to come back to get the camera.
I don't know, man. Absolutely beautiful freaking waterfall here. We're a little stressed, but you know, that's a real adventure. You don't know, like the people of like, you know, history would have never known. They didn't have any maps or GPSs or freaking compasses or anything. So, you know, I'd take a moment, enjoy this. It's pretty beautiful, I gotta say. And, you know, we're gonna try to get our stuff down, and hopefully the canyon is runnable.
Dude, look at that.
But plan for the worst, hope for the best. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Because like this is just, you can't really rush it and expect we need to hit 10K, 20K a day, because it's just not a reality sometimes. And then you get stressed and you start rushing. So, you know, I'm just taking a moment to enjoy this. The sun came out and it's pretty cool. And this is a real adventure, let me tell you. We're just bushwhacking through this jungle of freaking mess of trees and alders and spruce and moss, and you know, there's nothing more rewarding than the feeling of doing this kind of thing. It's just so awesome.
all we have is 1 to 50 maps and no trails, and you know, a river with absolutely no notes and a lot of inaccuracies. But you know, what did the explorers do? What did the first native people that paddled this? They didn't have any of that. You know, didn't have any of this gear, and they just came out here dicks to the wind, and they managed to do it too. So, you know, if they can do it, we can do it.
Borderline going into shock. I don't know if we're gonna make it out of here.